Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, so back for another, Tuesday breakdown, or not really a breakdown. We do have one new banner though. We have this Sisquiede here. This one is going to be the AEUG colors. So as far as where this unit is from, I believe, I didn't do my research, but this one I believe is from G Generation, the SDG Generation game. This one is a mono eye unit, and it does look very intriguing. I won't lie to you guys, it looks pretty cool. In terms of the overall design, leg-wise, I would definitely say it gives me an impression of Zeta. As far as the head part goes, maybe a little bit of the Hakashiki, and then back part wise, I don't know where it's from. Like in terms of inspiration wise, I don't know. But yeah, this is the overall unit. So this one is a standard banner. So for anyone out there that is wondering, do you want to summon on this banner? That is a 100% no, because eventually a month later on, depending on what their timeline in terms of updating the banner over here, as far as the Forster pick ticket, you will be able to get this within a month or so. I want to say give or take 5 weeks at least. 5 weeks later, it should be in this pool over here. Then you'll be able to secure it, without any hardship. So that's good. Yeah, other than that, don't summon it because this is a standard banner. You don't want to be wasting your hardships on this banner itself. I guess in terms of the enticing part, first step is going to be guaranteed. So if you do want to at least walk away with something, guarantee, yeah. But I mean, like at the end of the day, this is a free unit. Given that you do have those Forster pick tickets. Other than that, in terms of the other freebie, you do have what is it, the Mark II material if you want that. But if you guys just play it regularly every day, you do have 5 tickets per. So it's not really like a necessity in a way. It's more like a slow grind. While here you can kind of get this 10x per multi summon. So yeah. So just don't summon this banner because this is a standard. And one other thing to mention, this one is a 7-star part. So because I think starting from the P attribute for Dark Gundam, they have been dropping these standard banner unit as a 7-star bull. So that's, I mean, it's good. But at the same time, it does kind of confuse people. So they might think, oh, this one is a 7-star unit, they want to summon it. But this one is a standard banner. So you guys can definitely tell when you guys look at these over here. I think this is definitely a good way to be looking at, because we have 2 limited banner and then 1 standard banner. So in terms of the actual banner image, you guys can definitely tell a big difference. First of all, standard banner does have a their guaranteed step up. They don't want to do that for Sokais anymore. I don't know why. Or just any of those limited time banners. S Gundam is more or less like your special type banner because it's in label as anything else. But other than that, in terms of the Sasabi, that one is literally labeled as a Sokai Festival, so that it's like your limited part, that is like your hype unit, or if you want to call it that. But other than that, let's take a look at the overall unit and see how good is it, right? So this one is a standard unit, does not have an alteration, but the overall stat is looking very impressive. So if and whenever the standard unit gets an alteration, which probably, like, if I want to guesstimate, probably gotta wait at least a good few years, which I don't I don't want to say the words, but like, would this game even be here like few years later? That is always going to be the biggest question in my opinion, because of how the state of this game has been, even after the 3rd anniversary. But yeah, head part wise, we do have the offensive mode 1. So this one is awakening skills. This provide yourself speed increase by 20% and then shot attack up by 49%. So is it, how good is it? Probably not the greatest, just because in terms of these awakening, they're pretty much taking up some slots. So I mean, it's in terms of the head wise, yes for aesthetic and no for the actual EX skill. Word tech wise, high mobility and then ace exclusive. So so I kind of do know what kind of route they're going with this unit. So they're going for a mix, but the stat does not support that. Great. That's great. What about the torso? Torso was, wow, we got 11,000 HP, or yeah, armor, an alterated standard. Sheesh, that's crazy. As far as the shot department, let's say the base shot attack, that's quite high, almost at 5,000. And then in terms of the defense for the shot, 4,700, it's good. As a 7-star standard, no alteration yet. Like this one could be something good, eventually. Like I don't know when, But in terms of work wise, high mobility and then high firepower, so that's good. But this one, like in terms of the work wise, it is leaning towards like a melee build, but work or the portrait wise, not really. You can toss it in any build. So when deep up there, oh, okay, I don't know. So when deep up there, that is probably a very hard thing to get into as far as debuffing yourself. That is primarily your opponent debuffing you. It's gonna be a very niche option when you can debuff yourself. The only other way you can debuff yourself literally is if you run something that has a negative effects. As an example, I'm gonna show you guys what I mean by self debuffing yourself. That is if we take a look at the awakening skill for the Delta Kai here. Something that you can self debuff yourself is gonna be a swallow. It's gonna be this one right here. So in terms of the nitro system, this one says reduces your shot defense down by 30 or 30% right there. So this one is a negative attribute. So I think I don't have the part, so I can't really test that out for you guys. But technically speaking, this one is a debuff because in terms of the icon shown, it's gonna be like a pink in terms of like a turquoise green. So that right there is gonna be like your negative, connotation. So that right there means you're debuffed in a sense. So that's those are just like a few example where you can debuff yourself in a way. But in terms of practicality wise, it's a 100% not realistic because you'll never in a situation want to be debuffing yourself. So that's kind of bad. All right, moving over to the arm. Arm wise, this have some pretty good armor. Like, oh my gosh. As far as the melee attack goes, yeah, not too good. Shot attack definitely really good. In terms of the defensive life, really good for the shot as well. Melee is probably not there. In terms of the war tag, high mobility, and then Ace of once again, so they are going for that dual type build. It's as kind of ish, but not really gonna work because in terms of the stat wise, it's not really supported. In terms of support trade, when buffed it, enemy EXQ damage plus 30%. So they are starting to branch into those newer portrait. So that's good. Not really new portrait, but these more powerful portraits. So that's always going to be good to see. All right, leg wise, we do have an EXQ here. So wow, those armor just keep hovering about that 9k, 10k, 11k. So that is crazy good. In terms of the overall raw shot attack, that's pretty good. Shot defense, pretty good as well. In terms of the melee department, not really. So high firepower, then high mobility, so that's pretty good. So we have the offensive mode too. So this one activate offensive mode, close in on enemy at high speed and fire your eye field launcher. Raises your shot attack up by 39%. So that's hot. So this one is looking like a cutscene-esque, having that longer duration cooldown, and then the first time users being a little bit higher than your other EX skills. So okay, I believe on their Twitter page they have the EX skill already, so we are going to be taking a look at it afterward. As far as the back part goes, let's see what we have. Before 30 seconds elapse, so once you hit that 4 minute and 30 seconds, this portrait is out. So you want to be doing everything we can within that first 30 seconds, then you're good. Oh, they're giving us another buff trait. That's good. I these parts are good. Okay. The only bummer part is like, oh, that time getaway is over here. But other than that, if you want to use it in any short event, probably, I don't know. Like, even if you are good at, let's say, one-shotting your multi-mission boss, that is good. But if you talk about crew multi-mission, for example, yeah, most of the time you will definitely go past that 30 seconds. So this portrait is more of a situational thing. It's meant to be used in arena, if I want to call it that, because that is probably the only area where you want to. It's more of like a time pasted. You want to finish it within like a very fast timer. So that's gonna be good in arena. In terms of other scenario, not so much, depending on what kind of mission you're looking at. So as far as the beam saber, let's see what we have. Wow, that melee attack is quite high, 14,000, so that's good. High mobility and then ace exclusive again. So this one is specifically for your leg part, but they are bumping them to 40% already, so that's That's looking very huge. But only to lake part wise is kind of kind of sucks. Um, I don't know. So this one is probably like an iffy option as well. If you guys are not using any late EXQ, this portrait is a wasted right there. All right, last but not least, we do have the iFuel launcher for aesthetic. This thing is for sure top tier, like at least top 10 in my opinion. For like range weapon wise, looking cool aesthetically, yeah, this one definitely has to be on the list. As far as the portrait goes, when attacking with beam, enemy shooting damage plus 30%. Right there, they nailed it. You gave us like a look at those stats. Yeah, look at those stats. 16,000. I can tell you straight up right now, some of your Sokai range weapon has like, especially for your sharp department, has something of this caliber. Like this one is a standard non-alterated, and they're pumping out damage already. That is insane. You get good parts rate. I don't know what else you can ask for. So for anyone that may be looking for a standard route, you want some good parts rate, good stat, this one definitely fits that budget. But if you want that secondary parts rate, I'm sorry, there's no alteration yet. So that is still gonna be as far as the limited suit, they definitely still have one or two. It's gonna be at least a league or two higher or better in a sense if you want the extra portrait. But overall, I think this is clearly definitely is a not a bad option. As in terms of aesthetic, portrait wise, stat wise, definitely very good for your shooting department. Word wise could be a little wonky depending on how you look at things because it does have high mobility. But let's actually shift gears into the Twitter page and take a look at their EXQ animation. So they actually dropped this as well. So this one is a paid thing only. So yeah. Okay, Twitter. So let's see what we have. So I'm not going to make the full screen, but I did make it a little bit bigger for you guys to see. So that's that. All right, so 2VXQ, we got the Awakenings. That looks pretty cool. Okay. Oh yeah, this one is going to be Awakening. Yeah, how can you tell? First of all, this one does give you like a different color in a way. So this one, quote unquote, this one's like forgiving, you can tell, right? I do want to, whoops, don't want that sound. So let's see. Once it pop this, right? So it's gonna give you that little, eye glowing part. So that's hot, Having that mono eye glow like that, that is, whew, gotta love that. As far as that goes, it's gonna go into, so the thing is, right, it's starting off with a beam saber, while this one is a ranged EXQ or beam shot. So if I were to get my hands on it like a month later, I do want to see if this one is going to be scaling damage wise. So is it going to be a mix? Because that is a very important thing. And this is the only part. Like once you go into like the final, like that final attack, that is when it's going to ship into an actual shot based EXQ, or I mean like using it as a ranged weapon. But other than that, this one definitely do have to test it out in terms of like, is it a split damage or is it completely 100% shot orange? But overall, definitely not bad. I just gotta love the fact that when they drop standard banner, they are always gonna be coming in hot with new EXQ, at least with new banner unit, right? So that's always going to be something good to be looking forward. But do let me know how you guys feel about this Sisquiede here. Is this something that you guys did not expect they'll be adding on to the roster, or is this going to be like right now? Are you guys going to be summoning it? That is the most important question that I want to ask you guys. But with that said, I'll be catching you all on the next one.